I like micro failure. I like micro failure. I hate macro failure, like death of your business is bad. But
it wasn't as though in creating these companies that we thought that we would be successful. I thought that the most likely outcome was failure.
We don't have enough time for me to list all of our failed experiments, but the big winners pay for thousands of failed experiments.
Want to be happy? Build a life, not just a business.
Living that believing life, out here living that believing life. Every day we living that believing life. Hustle like we living that believing life. Living life, yeah, so we grinding it out. Every single day we be grinding it out. Hustle like we living that believing life, oh, that believing life, oh.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You've got Michael Jordan level talent at something. So today, let's live your best belief life and learn how to succeed despite failures. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Don't let failure stop you.
Tell us about failure and why it's important to fail.
I love it.
Yeah, because you mentioned you love it.
I love it. I like micro failure. I like micro failure. I hate macro failure, like death of your business is bad. But to me, you know what's funny? I'll use a boxing analogy. My favorite boxing, I watch a lot of boxing. I think boxing is a very interesting, and I'm super into mixed martial arts, but I grew up on boxing, I understand it better. And I like watching it because there's so many things that happen in boxing. First of all, what I love about boxing is there's nowhere to hide. You know, like it's super interesting, right? There's nowhere to hide. Number 2, there's a scenario in boxing that I love the most. For some reason, there's nothing more interesting to me than watching somebody get knocked down in the first round and then go on to win the fight easily. It's an interesting psyche, right? And I like that, and this is what I'm thinking about it, which is like, here's what's bad in boxing and in business. Going into a fight, getting knocked the f out in the first round and losing the match, bad. Getting knocked down and then having the adversity to readjust to what you got caught on and navigating it to easily win a fight is remarkable. That's how I think about entrepreneurship. The reason so many people struggle with entrepreneurship is you have micro failures almost daily, and they're very in your face. You can't hide. And I like that. I like failure because I think I deserve it. I hate when people don't respect the game. When I fail, it means I f***ed up. And I like that because I think people get audacious. My #1 thing that I hate about capitalism is that people use it and they love it and they're big capitalists and they love open market and competition and all that, and then they become 73 and they try to use all their money to protect their money. They're not willing to let a young lion eat them the way they ate somebody else. I hate when they try to manipulate it. That's what I love about sports. What I love about sports is when you're 36 and you were once the best player in the league, but now you're getting a little bit older and your body breaks down, you are forced to retire. The one thing that entrepreneurship and capitalism has to adjust to is once you get old and you're tired and you want to be on a yacht instead of working your shit, you should lose some money because you're losing.
Rule number 2, don't be afraid to fail with Jeff Bezos.
By the way, getting it wrong isn't that bad. That's the other thing. When we make mistakes, and we've made doozies like the Fire Phone and many other things that just didn't work out, we don't have enough time for me to list all of our failed experiments, but the big winners pay for thousands of failed experiments. So you try something like Prime, and it was very expensive at the beginning. It cost us a lot of money, because what happens when you offer a free all-you-can-eat buffet? Who shows up to the buffet first? The heavy eaters. It's scary. It's like, oh my God, did I really say as many prawns as you can eat? Oh. And so that is what happened. But surely we could see the trend lines. We could see that, you know, all kinds of customers were coming and they appreciated that service.
Also, if you want to have more motivation and confidence, check out my 254 series. They're free. The links to join are in the description below.
My ability to only be comfortable in massive chaos has been my biggest asset as an entrepreneur. Like, I would never take a note. Like, that scares the piss out of me what these 3 people are doing right now.
From day one, I never tried to hide that I was the girl in my apartment with the red backpack. I was reminded this morning of a question I'm often asked. How do you eliminate fear from your life?
Rule number 3, don't fear failure with Elon Musk.
We got to try to create an electric car company. But it wasn't as though in creating these companies that we thought that we would be successful. I thought that the most likely outcome was failure. But it was still worth doing, even though the odds of success were low. In fact, even for SpaceX, originally what I started doing was not creating a rocket company, but actually was going to do a small mission to Mars, which was just a philanthropic mission where you would send a small greenhouse with seeds and dehydrated gel, and upon landing, hydrate the gel, and you'd have this cool picture of green plants on a red background. And the public tends to respond to precedents and superlatives. So this would be the first life on Mars, furthest that life's ever traveled, and you'd have this great money shot of green plants on a red background. So, I thought that would get people's attention. So, but the expectation for that was no return. So I thought we wouldn't get any, we'd just spend the money on that, and it wouldn't happen.
Rule number 4, redefine failure with Sarah Blakely.
Growing up, my father used to ask my brother and me what we had failed at the dinner table, which was so interesting, and he'd celebrate it, and he'd actually be disappointed if I didn't have something that I failed at that week. So I can remember saying, Dad, I tried out for this and I was horrible, and he would actually high-five me and say, congratulations, way to go. And what it did was just reframe my definition of failure. Failure for me became not trying versus the outcome. So many people don't take risks for fear of failure. They don't start the business, they don't go create the art they want to create, or they don't go try out to be in the play, or whatever it is, for the fear of failure. And once you redefine that for yourself and realize the failure is just not trying, then life opens up to you in many ways. And I would also, my dad would encourage me anytime something didn't go the way I expected it to, or maybe I got embarrassed by a situation, to write down where the hidden gifts were and what I got out of it. And I started realizing in everything there was some amazing nugget that I wouldn't have wanted to pass up.
And rule number 5, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is seek failures with Bob Proctor.
You should seek failures. See, if you're playing it safe, you're not going to win. If you're playing it safe, like that old saying, you were taught when you were a little girl, better to be safe than sorry. Well, that's a bunch of crap. It's not better to be safe than sorry. It's by trying things that you figure out how far you can go. You got to get outside the box. Like it's reported, Edison tried 3,000 ways before he built the incandescent light. He said he didn't fail 3,000 times. He said there was 3,000 different steps to building a light bulb. Well, there's different steps to get to where you're going. And I really do treat winning and losing exactly the same. I do not let it upset me.
Do you think that's a big part of why you're so successful?
Well, it's part of why I enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it is, because I'll try anything. Like if I'm into an idea, the idea of losing never enters my mind. See, I have worked with giants. I had the good fortune of working with Sir Edmund Hillary. He was the first man to stand on top of the world. And I worked with him on 3 different occasions. And the only difference in Ed Hillary and Bob Proctor is in his size. Now, he's gone now, but he was a big man. When he shook hands with me, his hand wrapped right around mine. I felt like a dwarf, And in talking to him, like it never entered his mind he wouldn't get to the top of the mountain. But he failed in 1951. He failed in 1952. It wasn't until 1953 that he got to the top of the mountain. Now, people had died for centuries trying to do that. But he said, I knew if I could see it in here, I could hold it out here. Stella Mann wrote that in a book. If you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hand. And that's right. And if you're not prepared to lose, you're never going to win, because you're always playing it safe. And there's no reward in that.
Now I have a special bonus clip from Lisa Nichols on how to give yourself permission to fail that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Let's go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1. What is one thing you want to try but you're afraid of failing? Number 2, what's one small step you could take today to start building momentum? And number 3, who can you commit to make sure that you follow through every day? And if you like this video and promise to take action after watching it, give me a hashtag believe down in the comments as well. We don't just watch videos here, we do something about it. So give me a hashtag believe, make that promise to yourself, and then get to work.
So often, you don't move forward because you're keeping such score from what didn't work in the past. You are holding yourself hostage to 1997 to 2005. You're holding yourself hostage in love to that past relationship that didn't work, or you're holding yourself in hostage in business to the money that you may have thought you wasted or the deal that went bad. And so one of the ways that I give myself permission on two levels. Permission to have lived a life that has some beautiful experiences and some really tangy lessons. I mean, they're spicy, they hurt, they're painful. When I give myself permission to have had that, I also give myself permission to keep leaping. Give myself permission to keep dreaming. Give myself permission to keep learning how to get it right, learning how to love the unlovable, forgive what seems to be the unforgivable, to leap again. Even while I still have a bandage on my chin from the last time I fell, I still get to leap. So I want to invite you, if you fall, fall. Catch your breath, put a bandage on it. Whether you fail financially, you fail physically with health and wellness, you fail spiritually, you fail emotionally, you failed in a relationship, okay. A part of flying is understanding what the distinction between flying and falling. And the only way you understand the distinction is that you experience full life. When you experience full life, it's like this. Life isn't just flat line, it's not just like this. You make your heights feel better because you understand this was a failure. And what I mean by a failure is this taught me a lesson, this stung, every single failure has a lesson in it. To me, a failure is a lesson wrapped in some sticky, icky paper that stung, that hurt. And so give yourself permission to play big, to be nervous, to fall down, to sit down for a minute. Just don't take up real estate in the sitting down. Don't take up real estate in the analyzing. Don't take up real estate in the preparation. You've been getting prepared for a long time for something. Trust that you'll either fly if you leap right now, or you'll fall if you leap right now. And if you fly, you'll understand what soaring feels like. And if you fall, you'll understand what getting up feels like. Either way, you're okay. That's how I play big with my knees knocking. That's how I play big, even when there's something in my consciousness reminding me of the last time I did something like this and it didn't quite work out. And I still play big because I constantly give myself permission to totally win and soar or totally fall and get up. And that way, there's nothing to truly be afraid of. Remember, this is a dialogue, not a monologue, which means we're in a dynamic conversation versus me just entertaining you.
If you want to know 5 pieces of life-changing advice from monks and gurus, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.